the life in these islands, e malamahi kawai.
The Polynesian explorers of ancient times all must have known about the extraordinary value of an island which rises high above the sea. Evaporated moisture builds up. The persistent breeze sweeps warm, wet air up against the high, cold air, and the rain forms. A Hawaiian chant said, "'Twas in Ko'olau I met with the rain." The mountain walls leap with the rain. To imagine a year of mountain rain in a moment of time, you might stack one person on top of another, on top of a third. If you added a fourth and a fifth, you would glimpse a year's worth of rain, several hundred inches. The mountain walls leap with the rain. The words of native Hawaiians speak to us of the value of water. Vai, water. Vai means wealth, abundance. Waikiki means spouting water. Waiahole, water filled with the ahole fish. Where today we talk about the law of the land, the Hawaiians spoke of the law of water, kana vai. The kapu which governed water became the law, the kana vai. Wherever the streams flowed, the Hawaiians became managers of water, and they grew food in abundance and multiplied to the hundreds of thousands. As their numbers grew, Hawaiians expanded into the dry districts of Oahu, and along the shore they dug shallow wells. Fresh water from the land mixed with salt water from the sea, as if this island was spilling over with water. For 100 years, the early Western settlers got along by using water from the streams, but the limitations of pure stream water became more and more of a problem. The entrepreneur James Campbell ranched on the arid lands of Ewa, and it's said that cattle sometimes thrust their heads into the sea and drank from freshwater springs. The water bubbling from the ground at Punahou likewise suggested the existence of an underground source, and the springs at the Protestant church Kawai Ahau were also a clue. In 1879, James Campbell brought in a driller from California who dug down 100 feet, 200 feet. Then he broke through a seal of dark red clay, and fresh, sweet water flowed to the surface. Campbell had tapped a vast underground storehouse, and the course of human history on Oahu had changed. People now had an enormous, pure, low-cost source of water. It supported the rapid expansion of the sugar industry. It supported the rapid growth of the city of Honolulu. A furious drilling and ditching of seemingly limitless water followed, and by the 1920s, the price of waste had become painfully evident. Wells were salting up. A water panic set in. And that was the origin of the Board of Water Supply, which signaled an era of systematic management of the water resource. Today we can see a dramatic part of Oahu's water story at the underground pumping station at Halawa. The Halawa Tunnel is a pathway through the inside of the natural water system. The tunnel is designed to skim water at a safe level, and the condition of the lens is carefully monitored. The lighter freshwater floats on the heavier saltwater, forming a giant reservoir. When people talk about the water lens, this is what they mean. wet tunnels within the system reveal a cross-section of porous volcanic rock constantly seeping water. The rain from above runs down through countless niches, a cascade through sponge-like stone. The digging of Halava Tunnel anticipated the possibility of World War II by a bit. Work began on December 6, 1941, a day before the attack on Pearl Harbor. The tunnel was completed in 1944, in time to help support the doubling of Oahu's population in wartime. Long-term trends are studied through a network of monitoring wells, which reach down 1,000 feet into the zone where fresh and salt water mix. Short-term trends are identified by monitoring the top of the water table from pumping station to pumping station. Conservation plans set in if the water table falls or if consumption rises unduly because of hot, dry weather. We have an ever-growing population with an ever higher standard of living resulting in ever greater consumption of water. Where does water come from? Most of the time, we don't have to think about it. It comes from the tap. Technology helps us manage more skillfully, but it does not alter the fact that the naturally available supply of water is limited. With periodic water shortages, we're reminded of those limits. We explore the idea of reusing wastewater. We experiment with costly desalinization, taking the salt out of ocean water. Limits are constantly weighed before new development is approved. When day-by-day conservation has been called for, Hawaii's people have proven themselves to be responsive and concerned. We learn that conservation can result in families cutting their water consumption in half. For homes with yards, most of that saving can come from water-efficient landscaping called xeriscaping. We can use water-saving devices, repair the leaks, take pride in the results, save on your water bill. We are all in this era of conservation together, rediscovering the ancient kanawai. Use only what you need, but do not waste. We must take care of the water. Aloha the water. E malama I kawai.
Hey. Well, this is a special delivery. I just wanna let you know that I'll never let you go. Never leave you in the cold, cause I'm so far gone in love with you. I just wanna let you know that I'll never let you go. Never leave you in the cold, cause I'm so far gone in love with you. You are my sweet loving empress. Without a doubt, I know you are the world's greatest. Forevermore, forever less. Day by day, dealing with stress, but still with love I truly blessed. Like a real lion, you a real lioness. Sweet loving, she a manifest. I still ever strong, keeping it conscious. Your woman still ever strong, keeping it conscious.
Hi, my name is Marcel Liana, and my presentation will be on Lanikai Beach. Lanikai is located on the east side of Oahu, developed from the Ko'olau Shield volcano and from the offshore reef and the two smaller islands. The Lanikai Beach is one of Hawaii's most beautiful beaches. It is also the most photographed, and it's famous for its sunrises and moonrises. A lot of people kayak, canoe paddle, sail, windsurf, and swim at this beach. The original real name for the Hawaiian land, Lanikai, was actually called Ka'ohao. Ka'ohao in Hawaiian means tying together or joining together. In 1925, Charles R. Fraser, a Honolulu businessman, bought 111 acres of beachfront property at the south end of Kailua Bay. In 1926, he purchased an additional 200 acres from Monowili Ranch. He developed it as a subdivision and created the Lanikai community as it exists today. There are 10 beach access entrances on Mokulua Drive that lead to Lanikai Beach. The developer Charles R. Fraser changed the original Hawaiian name for the land from Ka'ohao to Lanikai. Thinking the new name meant heavenly sea, actually Lanikai, as written in Hawaiian, means sea heaven. If it was meant to mean heavenly sea, then the proper Hawaiian name would have been Kailani. In Hawaiian, the adjective should follow the noun. The Lanikai's wide fringing reef extends almost half a mile out to sea that functions like a breakwater, diffusing most of the wave energy before it reaches the beach. The ocean bottom slopes gently to overhead depths along the entire beach. This contour ordinarily would encourage small trade winds and generate surf, but it usually is a surf-free beach. This straight, white, fine sand beach is approximately 1 mile long. It narrows at both ends and widens in the middle. It's the best swimming beach in Hawaii. The water is clear and not clouded by stream runoff. There are 2 islands at the south end of the beach known as the Mokulua Islands, or for short, the Mokes, or the Twin Islands. The large island is called Mokonui, which consists of white sand, and the small island is called Moko'iki, that has a pebble beach. Both are part of Hawaii's State Seabird Sanctuary, and landing is only permitted on the beach of the larger island. The north and south end of the beach has lost a lot of its precious white fine sand and suffered severe erosion problems, threatening a number of houses. It is nearly half the size it once was. According to the geologists, they warn us that the problem will get significantly worse in the coming decades as global warming causes sea levels to rise more rapidly. Other causes to erosion include storms and human actions, like the construction of seawalls, jetties, and the dredging of the stream. These disrupt the natural flow of sand. Seawalls have been proven to be ineffective against beach loss. Without sand nourishment to replenish the beach is lost. The seawalls may protect the homes, but it can't produce sand. Pushing the ocean inland along coastal areas, there is an abandoned hope for Lanikai because they are already lined with seawalls and are badly eroded. Ua mau ke o ka aina I ka pono. The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness.